What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is February the 19th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is focusing on today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, we do have the typical stuff. So initial jobless claims. We also have a lot of Fed speakers today. So that definitely could cause some volatility depending on what they bring up. And there's a lot of hot topics that could be brought up as well. Before the bell, we do have manufacturing index. So Philly manufacturing index. Current forecast for that is 7. All of the manufacturing data for the last month has been absolutely on point, showing a lot of good expansion. So it's fair to assume no different is going to come out for that one. So aside from all of this kind of fun stuff, it is going to be the market digesting the minutes from yesterday and just everything that has been happening. We also did have a company putting out their earnings today, Walmart, and that was the big deal for this week in my opinion, because Walmart's really proven that it can move the market dependent on what they give for future guidance. And unfortunately, I think they kind of missed a little bit. So I'll kind of go over that in a second. The only other thing that kind of might influence today is this right here. So Trump to deliver remarks on the economy at 4 p.m. So again, maybe that might result in a little bit of a boost higher. Prior to this, he's been kind of talking about trade deficits. So I'm sure it's linked to that in some kind of regard. But aside from that, we are seeing the futures somewhat red. Dow is down 0.25, S&P down 0.28, NASDAQ down 0.45. And it pretty much all stemmed and started around like 4 a.m. That's where things started to really go down. But we are seeing extremely low volume. So I wouldn't really consider us down and out just yet. Fear and greed index is under the fear category, meaning people's appetite for risk in theory isn't really on the table. So just keep that in mind. SoFi is down slightly, just piggybacking off of the broader market. No news today, nothing for fireside chats. Shorts are returning about 5,000 shares. So historically, if you want to kind of compare and contrast what that means, usually when shorts return, it kind of shows that it feels like the red day is unjustified and usually results in SoFi going in the green today. But 5,000 is very, very small. So just be aware that shorts might be a little bit more active. 8.8% of the free float's being shorted. Works to be 111 million shares overall are being shorted, with it right now at 1939. Trading between this pivot and this S1. This S1 has been pretty much a strong support over the last several trading days, so 1921. So just kind of watch for that to continue to hold. If not, 1903 is going to be the following support. 1949 followed by 1976 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. Similar to SoFi, NIO is just at the mercy of the broader market. So no news, no speculative anything. With Chinese New Year, NIO generally goes radio silent for at least the next couple of trading days. So it is going to be more linked to the technicals rather than anything. And no different than yesterday. Might be a little bit of a boring day, but I guess that might be a good thing, possibly. I'll leave it up to you guys to make that determination. Shorts aren't doing anything during the pre-market, which is rather odd, but 7.08% of the free floats being shorted. Works to be 144 million shares overall being shorted. Couple points to watch for though, with it at 491. It is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So just watch for that $5 mark. That's more linked to options to kind of be that breaking and pivot point. And then just watch for 485 to hold. Moving on, Walmart's getting a lot of volume. So they did do okay, I guess, on their top and bottom line, but their future guidance wasn't the greatest. And as I've mentioned well in advance, like that was going to be what the market really pays attention to. We've seen Walmart really move the market based on their guidance. So in general, that's kind of why we are going down. If you want a dedicated Walmart video, I don't think anyone's ever asked for that, but if you would like that, I can definitely do that on one of my channels. Shorts aren't doing anything with them during the pre-market. 1.07% of the free floats being shorted. Works to be 46.6 million shares overall being shorted, with it right now at 123 and change, trading between this R2 and this R1. So most likely Walmart is going to recover a little bit to at least that 124. That's going to be a key pivot. Whether we close above it, and then we later recover to maybe that 128 over the next couple of trading days, or we close below it and we consolidate to that 121 or even 116. So just watch for 124 today. Actually, it looks like it's already recovering to that point. It looks like right now. Moving on, HIMS. This is one of the most frustrating stocks in the market, gotta admit, but it is doing fairly well so far during the pre-market because of this. So it looks like a acquisition. I'm not gonna say this name, I'm gonna butcher it, but market generally sees this as very positive. Shorts are returning about 55,000 shares, so it's good to see them F off, mind you. But 36.5% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 75.2 million shares overall being shorted. So it's absolutely crazy to see shorts at this kind of as high as it is right now. So especially since January, short's been really doubling down. It went from around 31% short interest to where it is now. And in fact, looks like September was the all-time high short interest at 39.7. So we're not too far off from all-time high numbers. With it right now at 16.45, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 15.67 is going to be the next strong support, which is rather unfortunate. That would pretty much result in it being red. 17.15 is going to be the next strong target. So I feel like this one will be a pretty good day trade. So right now I'm looking at the 4 hour, but moving over to the 1 minute. So for those of you that want to day trade, just kind of watch for a lot of these. So 16.33, 15.90 as support levels, 16.76, and then 17.03 as targets. So in my opinion, I feel like we could easily touch this 16.33, bounce off of that, and retest that $17 range. So that in among itself might be a pretty good return for some individuals. Last but not least, ticker RUBI. This stock is the most heavily traded during the pre-market, which is very odd because there has been no news, no SEC filings. I looked at everything and there's no angles. And for those of you that have tuned into a lot of my videos, whenever you see a stock just kind of flatline like this, no news, and it starts to just go higher, typically that is linked to dilution, whether that be notes or preferred stock. There's some conversion happening, but I don't have a paid I don't pay for this website, so dilution tracker, nor do you. But all you have to do is just pop on here and just see what type of products that they do have. So it goes over all the S1s that happened, the warrants, and then the equity line. So there is no convertible notes, no convertible kind of preferred stock. These warrants, yes, is dilution, but it wouldn't result in this type of volume that is happening with this stock. So this stock right now is a big old question mark. So you can definitely make some pretty good money swing trading it, but set a very tight stop loss because you never know. Whatever is happening behind the scenes and whatever entities are trying to really push it higher, they could easily just pull the plug and you get stuck, because even yesterday did have a all-time low of 223. So just kind of heed some caution with this one, but you could again still make some pretty good money. Regarding shorts, they're not doing that much. 3.08% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 15,000 shares. Right now with it at 333, trading between this pivot and this S1. So 225 is going to be the next strong support, and that's kind of where it did land. 361 is going to be the next strong target / resistance, and in all fairness, again, just based on the momentum, people will see the abnormal volume and get in, not knowing anything about it. A lot of people generally do that. So realistically, we could be seeing that 361, or if things really heat up, you could even see 498, 563, and 719 potentially being hit. But might be a little bit far-fetched, but definitely, like I said, you could ride the wave up. Just heed a little bit of caution. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.